Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I have my completed October daily for 2020. This album ended up being a little bit chunky, but I'm not mad about it. I figured it was going to be, since we did go on a little day trip in October, that I did kind of a little mini album within a mini album. We'll see you'll see once we get there. But I'm going to go ahead and walk you through my album for 2020. This was, of course, lots of fun to put together. I had a really good time, and let's go ahead and jump right in. This piece on here, this is my cover page, and I have this little flip page. I didn't end up putting anything in this little belly band that I have right here. I probably will just leave it as is. I'm fine with that. But this was a piece that came from a Halloween blanket that I purchased at HomeGoods and decided to go ahead and incorporate it in here because I really liked the holographic font on the cover here, and it just adds a little bit of something extra to my cover page. And then we have my actual cover page. I believe I had some of this done for my pages. I don't remember exactly if I had this done yet at that point. I did go ahead and add this little witch sticker on here because I do have a bit of purple throughout and just wanted to add something extra on here. This piece here was just a wood veneer that I got from Target last year, the year before, and just had in my stash. Some just 2020 number stickers that came from, I think, Michael's. And then a 3D pumpkin that has kind of like a leather effect to it that I just had in my stash forever. And then I went ahead and covered the binding on this piece with some washi tape that I've had in my stash. And then the black and white hearts is just a piece of vellum that I cut down to fit in the, I think it's a 6x8 page protector. On this next page, I had a full photo of the pumpkins that we ended up picking our pumpkins out of from the store. And then I just put my little blurb talking about Halloween for 2020. This album, I should also mention, is about 98% done. I have one space here, and then I have two small spaces on the last page that I need to print off. But otherwise, everything else is done and completed. So then we jump into day one, and this is just talking, well, it will talk about kind of starting our YouTube channel and just kind of what we did on the first day. I will warn you guys that a lot of this album is going to get coffee because that is what we've been allowed to do this October. Kind of limited on the events going on in our area and just really feeling safe enough to go out to public places where there's kind of more of a gathering of people this year than in past years, and just trying to be safe about where we go and what we do. So this, and then because of that, I did more of an October occasionally instead of an October daily. So some days I do have the numbers on here, and then other days you'll see I actually don't put numbers, but I do include it as if it was a day, even if it was actually photos that I took in September, or I had an overflow of photos from one particular day, so I just filled it with photos from the month or that were Halloween or fall related that we were able to do this year. So on the second, we being me and Bear, my little Pomeranian, we went and got some Dutch Bros because they had released their caramel pumpkin brulee, and it is absolutely delicious. I always get it in the cold brew because I love it and it's so yummy. So that's basically what this piece here is talking about. And what I tried to use a lot of in this album this year was mostly traditional Halloween colors, so black and orange with a little bit of white. And I also tried to use up a lot of things that are older that I had in my stash for a very long time just to get it used up. So you'll see kind of a mismatch of items throughout the album as we move along. And then one thing that I did this year that I haven't done in previous years is I actually put things on the outside of the page protectors. So this little glittered pumpkin also came from that wood veneer set from Target, and then I have some black thickers up on top to give it more of a layered look, but it is outside of the page protector. And this piece here talks about my mom and I went to the Disney store before they ended up closing. The closest one to us ended up closing, I'm assuming due to COVID and everything going on with that. So this was our last visit to the store, and at that time they had released their Halloween items. So I just went ahead and used that photo to kind of make a little layout for it, and I really like how it turned out. Basically just layered some photos and some background, and I really like how it turned out because they all kind of go together. And then on this side I have the Trader Joe's Pumpkin JoJo's box that I recycled to put in here. And this I made a little flip page, so I just have this little tab here from a sticker that I had, and I basically just filled this up with photos of our crafts that we made this year. These are all up on the channel if you are possibly interested in seeing how we created these. And that's basically what I talked about for this. So again, this isn't a specific day that this happened, but I wanted to record these in the album since they did happen in October. And then on the back here, I just put a little blurb about how much I love the Trader Joe's pumpkin flavored JoJo's. And then over here, this was on day 6. I just talked about playing World of Warcraft, getting ready for the expansion coming out, and basically what a breakfast working from home looks like, and just wanted to incorporate that. So what I did, instead of putting my journaling on 2 slots, I just typed it up and printed them all together and just put a space in between so it is a little bit, so you are able to differentiate between the 2 days. Then over here, we're talking about, again, going to get more coffee and how much Bear likes to go with me because all the coffee places that we go to offer dog treats, and he knows that they offer dog treats, so he has such a good time. He loves going in the car anyways, but then to get a cookie on top of it is just icing on the cake for him. And then this is the 1-day trip that we ended up doing in October. We went to Montezuma Castle and Jerome. We took a day trip with some of our good friends. We went out there for the day and had a great time. Would definitely recommend. So then I just have some photos of us in the car. This is Montezuma's Castle. I just left these because I felt like if I put any embellishments on this, it would detract from the photo and just us and the location that we're at. Now this is a card that I got from the Dollar Tree. This is one of their pop-up 3D cards, and what I ended up doing was making a little mini album to hold the photos from this day trip that we went on. And again, like I said, throughout the album I did go ahead and type up and print just regular printer paper, and just typed out what I wanted to say, glued them all in, and then I backed them with craft paper and just talked about what we did on this day and have some photos in here from our trip. We ended up eating at this lovely restaurant called Grapes, and this was our food. And then I also took some photos and talking about the historical town, how cool it was to see all the old buildings. These photos are horizontal in a vertical piece, so you can actually go ahead and take this whole thing out if you want to, so you can also look at them. So I just have these in here. And then this last one, this is actually a postcard from Montezuma's Castle, and then I have a souvenir back here that's some stickers, and then the pamphlet that we got from the trip. And then on the back here, I just had an extra photo of myself and Bear. that I absolutely loved and I wanted to include, but it wasn't necessarily happening on the 10th that we went on this trip. So I just went ahead and stuck it on the back of here. I'm okay with that. I don't feel like it has to be in any order. And I really love this picture. However, these photos over here are from the trip. So this is where we parked our car and one of the shops. And then just some of the sites that we got to see. I did use this as a shaker, and I actually do not have a heat tool, so I went ahead and just used a piece of washi tape, fold it over the top, and that works fine for me to hold in my little sequin mix that I have in here. And then on the 11th, we just had a lazy day at home, stayed at home in bed most of the day, just relaxing from the day before and all the hiking and walking that we did in the town. And so I just kind of recorded what we did that day. And then on the 12th, Bear had a bath, so I just recorded that. And like I said, these aren't necessarily fall or Halloween related items, but it is what we did on our daily routine. So here's him after bath, and he was so cute. This next piece I also showed in my base pages video. This is a little goodie bag from Joann's that I've had in my stash for a long time. In here I just have a photo of my mom's dog Bella, and it looks like she's wearing the witch hat wreath, and then I have the little journaling on the back there. I'll put that in at the end. And then on the back of here again I just have a cute little photo of Bear, and this is that Halloween blanket I was talking about. Now this photo was actually taken in September before October hit, but I felt like because it is Halloween themed that it would fit well in the album, so I did go ahead and include it in there because I do really love that photo of him. And then over here is actually happened on the 17th. We went to a restaurant and they have gingerbread mummy cookies, which are a favorite seasonal treat for myself. This is a mug that I bought this year, and then this is a pie that we found or discovered at our local farmer's market. She makes them locally and they are absolutely delicious, and so we've been on the hunt to purchase another one because it was so good. And then over here we're talking more about our weekly or multiple times a week we end up going to get coffee. So this is just talking about Bear and how much he enjoys going to get coffee and putting his little head out the window and living his best life. It is just adorable. I love this so much. And then on the 21st, we have our wedding anniversary. This was our 2-year anniversary. We had planned to take a little weekend trip, but of course, with everything going on, we decided to just stay home and just spend time together. So we ended up going for lunch at one of our favorite restaurants called Joe's Farm Girl and had a great time. I wanted to include the gifts that we exchanged and then our meal that we had. This was a beverage that my husband brought me. It's one of my favorite things ever. It is called Waikiki from Swig. It's basically Coke, pineapple, and coconut cream, and it's absolutely delightful. I love it so much. And then over here, this is talking about Candy, our little chihuahua who lives with my mom, and we did a costume video with her on the 25th. I absolutely loved how that video turned out. She loves getting dressed up and wearing little outfits, so I wanted to include her in here. And then also on the 25th, my mom and I, went on a pumpkin hunting adventure. So this is the, I guess, waterfall flip piece that I had created and shown in my base pages video. And in here I just have some journaling of what we did, where we went, and then I have some photos of my mom as if we were at the pumpkin patch, because the pumpkin patch we intended to go to was the most crowded I've ever seen it in my entire life. So we decided against going in and we ended up going to a grocery store, which is why we have these photos of just the bins, and we just pretended that we were at a pumpkin patch and Mom picked out a pumpkin. So that is what that is. And then on the back here, I just have another photo of Candy in her little Darth Vader costume. And then this one is probably one of my favorite photos of Candy. She is, of course, a little chihuahua, and she actually fit inside of my pumpkin. So I just snapped a quick photo of her before I took her out. And so all of the dogs that we have enjoy eating pumpkin, and so they do not mind. But I just love her in the pumpkin. She's just so cute. And then again, over here, I just have kind of a traditional layout style with Bear and my husband. He's playing some video games and gave Bear a little treat of his little sweet potatoes, and he actually is holding it in his mouth because he doesn't know where to eat it or how to eat it, or he was hoarding it for later, I'm not sure. And then again, over here, I have one of these Dollar Tree cards that I picked up and went ahead and incorporated it in here. And in here, I just used it to house the photos of Bear in his banana costume this year. He wasn't too sure of this one, as you can tell by his little face. But yeah, he's the only one that got to wear a costume this year since we didn't end up going anywhere or doing anything. But I just love his little outfit. It's so cute. And then on the back here is just myself and Bear, probably in line at Dutch, waiting to get some coffee. And then this little pull-out piece here, I just had an old die cut of a haunted house that I've had forever, and some more old die cuts. And then just Bear in his little outfit because he's just the cutest little thing. And then over here on the 29th, so we carved our pumpkins on the 25th, and by the 29th, they were done. My mom actually kept them in her living room on the floor. And this is just talking about she woke up on the 29th getting ready for work and realized that the pumpkins basically got smashed overnight. And they just wilted and like liquid was all over the floor, and she had to get rid of them before she had to go to work. It was a whole mess. So I wanted to include that in here. And then on Halloween, so that was the 29th. The 30th is the day that The Mandalorian Season 2 came out, so I need to get a picture printed and then some journaling, and then that will be completed. And then on the 31st, we didn't go anywhere or do anything too exciting. We did order a pizza from Papa John's, and if you order on Halloween, they do a jack-o'-lantern pizza, and this is the one that we received. My mom says it looks creepy, but I don't know. Let me know what you think of the pizza pumpkin that we got. Either way, it was a thin crust pepperoni pizza, and he tasted pretty good anyways. So it didn't last very long either, so can't really say too much about that. But that is everything that happened for us for October of 2020. This was, as usual, a lot of fun to put together. I hope that I was able to inspire some of you to maybe go ahead and use some of these techniques to create your own October daily for this year or next year or any future years. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content because you definitely don't want to miss out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!